Good morning, everybody. It's 8:12. I apologize. You get me today. I drew the short straw. So Jess bailed out. He's pretending to be sick, I think, today. And so it's me now. Is he sick? Is that right? Or is he just playing hooky? I don't know. Deal with Jess, and there's no telling. For those of you who don't know, I'm Chris Helms, the county administrator. I've been here for, I don't know, 14 or 15 years. I usually add the adjectives associated with my name before or after. So that's usually how it goes. But we are excited about the huddle getting everything up and running again for a while, and appreciate the virtual option because I know I've not been able to make a lot of them here in person, but I have been attending them all virtually. One of the things that we want to do today is actually talk about IT and the wonderful things that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to turn this over to Josh. He's our IT manager, and will tell us all about the wonderful things that we can and can't do, and then how to do safe searching on the internet, right? How to get around the firewalls and stuff like that. That's right, where the game servers are, how we can get on and play some Call of Duty. Oh, that's the. Sorry, was that my outside voice? Oh, okay. Anyway.
Thanks, Chris. I've got a lot of stats and stuff, guys. I'm doing a lot of comparisons to 2014 statistics, so I'm going to hide behind my notebook quite a bit. You guys are good with that. This is a picture of our Public Safety Center data center. I like to think of it as kind of a modern take on a data center, and it's really in line with what we're doing with our services. We're really trying to take a fresh, modern approach with them. As far as Q&A, I've run through this a couple times. There's not going to be time for Q&A at the end, but any conversation that we can have as we go through probably has more value than the conclusion slide. So let's talk about anything you guys want to talk about as we go. As far as overview, broke this down into 3 sections. We go a little bit into the department. We talk about some of the newer services we're offering. On the services we're offering, these are things I feel like can directly benefit departments, increase efficiency, just new things we can do. So I'm always excited about the services. And then 2 slides on costs. I was reading this technology book sometime back. And what this book was telling me was that IT it's a machine. It's a machine that you put a need into, you run processes on it, and then you output a result. That's all IT is. What the book didn't tell me is that's what all of our departments are. We're all service providing departments. We just run different processes. And then a group of processes, that's the service. That's exactly what a service is. This is a diagram I use to teach my guys a lot of stuff about IT, from ticket flow to project flow, how we escalate things. It's got all the IT teams in there. Comparing to 2014, what's really changed is we've added a systems group and we've added a security team. And I've got quite a bit in here about security. These guys have been doing amazing things I'm excited to tell you about. As far as user count, we've grown from 800 users to 1,200 users. Been a substantial growth there. IT staff, we've grown from 21 to 31. The percentages of growth are practically identical. So those are in line with each other. And then locations as well. We've added the Sheriff Department campus, Rights Auto, Building Ops. We've gone from 1 floor at Cox Tower up to 4 floors. So there's been substantial growth. We're putting our services out there in a lot more places. As far as this pyramid here, in this scenario, it's a advertisement for the help desk is what it is. If somebody's got an issue, they put in a help desk ticket, and the help desk, they take the first swing at it. Maybe it's an email issue. My email's not working appropriately. The help desk gives us the quickest response to those technical issues. Maybe it's something more than we handle at the help desk, and the help desk will escalate that up to the desktop team. Maybe they reinstall Outlook, or maybe it's a Wi-Fi issue, so they escalate that up to the network team. We use this to show ticket flow, but then also project flow as well. Projects flow in kind of the opposite direction. It's a top-down approach. So if we're doing a wireless refresh, or we're building a jail campus, or we're remodeling an office, we start the design phase up with our senior level staff, admin and senior level. And then those tasks get delegated down to tier 2, and the information gets pushed to the help desk. So the result here is, from the user's perspective, whether you need status updates or you need to report an issue, all of our processes are designed around that notification and that information coming into the help desk. That's how we're able to give the best result, help desk communication. Make sense? All right. Not doing bad thus far then. If we start looking at the individual teams, I've put quite a few of these per slide, kind of minimize slides here. We have help desk, admin, and desktop. With the help desk, these guys are putting in help tickets, they're escalating tickets, they're doing tier 1 support. A little bit about what's changed. We have a dedicated help desk manager now. We didn't have that in 2014, so we're really evolving services in that way. Admin, and Jess runs the IT department. Jess and Chris, I give him credit too. We're doing managing things, managing the staff, IT budget, recommending services and products. And then on the desktop team, just within the last, 3 weeks, we've promoted Jason Marshall to the desktop manager. So these guys are doing physical client support, swapping out computers. They're starting to do a lot more with clients, telephone support, and each of our teams is evolving and becoming more advanced and more capable in doing more. Programming and GIS. That graphic's there for a reason. These guys are as close to magic as technology comes for me. So to be a programmer, to be able to sit down at a computer and just build something of value out of nothing, something that can process data, display data, just any of a number of operations, it's far beyond what I'm able to do. But then they also provide a lot of advanced system support. They're supporting our systems team. That's kind of the level of advanced support they give. GIS is a little more foreign to me. I know they work with maps. I know they do super advanced stuff with maps. I do have some stats. I mean, since 2014, they're using 260 data sets of just different types of data. This is up from 200 in 2014. They have 38 air flight photos. This is up from 21. They're supporting about 100 different GIS specialized computers throughout the county. And then what was really exciting to me, really kind of new not too long ago, was kind of their relationship with emergency management and what they're doing with other departments. One of the scenarios that came across to me was, imagine there's a tanker, something with poisonous gas rolling through Springfield. It gets in a wreck and it starts poisonous fumes. It starts spewing poisonous fumes. My understanding is that they have the capability of mapping this plume of poisonous gas, and then based on wind speed and wind direction, mapping where it's heading and how fast it's going to get there. And that really plays into potential evacuation plans. Some of those services that they're offering other departments are just super impressive to me. Network system security. These are my guys. I've got closer visibility with what they've got going on. which gives me a lot more stats. With the network team, these guys are providing support for the cabled and wireless network. But as far as the metrics that have changed since 2014, our internet speed has gone from 20 megs per second to 1 gig. To put that into perspective, that's about a 51.2 times increase. 51 times the speed of internet right now than we had 8 years ago. The backbone of our network, this is sort of the internal network speeds. We've gone from 1 gig to 80 gig. So our network is 80 times faster than it was 8 years ago. Telephones, we've gone from 877 to 1,300. The telephone number of telephones is usually pretty in line with employee capacity. Makes sense, right? Wireless access points, huge wireless expansion. We've gone from 50 to we're just about at 300. We're at 290 right now. So lots of new stuff with wireless. And surveillance cameras is just a huge one for us because we didn't do anything with surveillance in 2014. So that's been a brand new system, and we're up to over 1,100 IP cameras, and hundreds of those are recording audio and specialized. We can do thermal cameras and other specialized cameras for different scenarios. The systems guys, so systems and security, these guys are new since 2014. With the systems, these guys are doing a lot of data center support, a lot of server support, storage support. We currently have 3 data centers. 8 years ago, we had 2, so a little bit of growth in that direction. But our number of servers is really telling, because a server is what provides a lot of our applications and services, right? Server growth has gone from 75 servers to 250. So that's a lot more than double. On storage growth, we've gone from 125 terabyte to, we've gone to over a petabyte. But that's 10 times growth is what that is. 10 times the amount of data is being stored on our network than was 8 years ago. Security. Security's new as of, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We got our first security position. These guys, they're doing spam protection, virus protection, web filtering, intrusion prevention, multi-factor authentication. They're doing a lot to keep us safe, and I think I've got 2 more slides on those guys. Specifically about some of the services that we're able to offer because of them. So we get past the teams, we get past the department, we start looking at some of our newer services. Multi-factor authentication is a fun one for us. I think everybody in the county's been emailed about upcoming multi-factor authentication changes. But I know it's a busy slide. I wanted to give some pictures of the differences. Up there at top, that's if you've connected to VPN in recent years, that's a RSA token. It's a little 6-digit PIN that you put in as a password. We're switching to a solution called Cisco Duo, and Cisco Duo does offer that same service component, but there's also quite a bit more. So there's a cell phone app, there's a smartphone app. Oh, what if when you go to connect to VPN, you just put in your username and password, and your telephone asks you to hit an approve button to approve the connection? That's a feature available in this new system. And I feel like it's a little more efficient than having to tap in the number every time. So an improvement there. On that, well, part of that, I'll say I've got an Apple Watch. I like my smartwatches. It doesn't even prompt on my phone. It prompts on my watch for me, and I hit a button, so I don't even have to pull my phone out. So that's what's new with Cisco Duo. There's been a lot of information on that. Anybody have any questions, curiosities, anything with Cisco Duo? Multi-factor authentication, yes, ma'am.
When does that go into effect?
When does that go into effect? I'm glad you asked. We've got three-step phase deployment going on. Phase one is going to be replacing NetMotion and VPN. RSA tokens is what it is. So if you use an RSA token to connect to our network, that's the first step. Get RSA out of here. We're in progress with that. I expect that to complete over the next month. Phase two, we need to enable multi-factor authentication on email. Now, when we flip the switch on that, that's going to be for everybody all at once across the board. So we're looking at a month or two out for that phase. Phase three, the one that's got me excited because it provides the most security. We're probably 6 months out on it, but what that is whenever you go to log on to a computer, you use multi-factor authentication to log on to the computer itself. And it's once we hit that phase three, that's where it becomes impossible for someone else to steal your password or password to show up on the dark web. That's where we're going because that'll provide a super high level of security. So that's our goal there. Make sense? Moving on with services, malicious email analysis. This is a new service that we're able to offer, and all this is, what's that phrase they use? If you see something, say something. If you get a suspicious email, forward it to the help desk. We had this incident happen, I think it was last week, may have been the week before. But what it was a very targeted attack on us. Somebody, individual, a group of individuals, they took the time to research the commission, research our directors, find contact information, and really target, an attack. And what they did was they went and got themselves a Gmail account, and they spoofed a commissioner's email. They started sending emails from this Gmail account that looked like they were coming from a commissioner. These emails went to about 40 of our users. So, and that's what the whole scam is. You send an email out to a group of users. Based on your responses, you start manipulating the users that respond. That's what their goal was. How this actually played out, within 5 minutes of that email hitting the county, hitting our users, it was reported to our help desk. We had a help ticket. It was delegated to our security staff. 5 minutes. Within 5 additional minutes, within 10 minutes, we had the scammer blocked. Nobody could send him email. Nobody could receive email from him. Completely blocked. Within 15 minutes, our security team was able to go into each and every email box and remove that email, remove the threat from the boxes. So within 15 minutes, we were able to negate the threat. We spent more time throughout that day really investigating what happened, how it happened. Is there anything more we can do to prevent this? That was one incident one day a week ago. That was about 2% of what the security team did that day. So, security team doing crazy awesome stuff. Wireless refresh. This is a project that we have going on right now. I'm super excited about this. I guess let's start with any electronic device that we purchase, whether it's a wireless access point or a computer or a telephone or a server, anything we purchase, it has a life associated with it. A computer has a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. A telephone has a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. I almost think of it as a subscription. It's a reoccurring cost. Well, in order to keep the environment as stable as possible, we try to replace the devices before they die, before the end of their life. And that's where wireless or wireless refresh falls into this. With our wireless refresh, we're replacing the old wireless system with a new wireless system. Old wireless access points, say they shoot signal this far. New wireless access points, they shoot signal this far. So just by replacing devices and keeping our equipment alive, we're improving the performance and stability of the wireless network. there is a little bit more with that. New type of wireless, advanced security options, a lot more features available to us because of that advanced security. Uh, Internet of Things. This is a category of devices. We've never been able to take advantage of them in this environment. If you go get a television in your office and it has smart TV features, that's an Internet of Things device. We've never been able to put those on the network before because we've never had anything with the built-in security that allowed for that sort of thing. So I'm excited that we can do that as part of the wireless refresh going forward. We can add these, I don't want to call them fun devices, but additional devices to operate a little bit smoother. More powerful IoT. We have, the handheld radios that the emergency department use, sheriff department, highway department, emergency management commission carries these, I believe. One of the issues, we ran into this a couple weeks ago. What if somebody flips a wrong switch on that emergency radio? That's not within our control. It's not a network we maintain or handle or do anything with. But if somebody flips a wrong switch and that emergency network goes down, what do we do? How do these guys operate? I don't really know the answer to that. Maybe they send emails, make telephone calls. On these new radios that we have, they have Wi-Fi failover. If the emergency radio system goes down, these things can just connect to our wireless network. And then at least internally, our sheriff department can still communicate, commissioners, highway department, etc. That part makes sense? A little more stability there. That's a feature of our newer wireless access points, so we're excited about that part as well. The other one is external Wi-Fi. It's really relevant for our jail. We've never been able to put Wi-Fi on the parking lots. There's not really been a huge demand for it, but it is a capability that we have with this newer system. We use this at the sheriff campus so patrol can pull up and upload evidence from their car and those types of things. But if use case comes up, we do have that. Other services. So the big thing I wanted to point out here was that, again, devices have life cycles. It doesn't matter if it's a printer or a telephone or a switch. Everything's on this logical subscription. It will need to be replaced. It is a reoccurring cost. Surveillance, wanted to highlight that just because it is a brand new service to us, brand new since 2014, and it is just absolutely exploding. Up over 1,100 individual cameras, a system to support that. I think we've got 10 or 12 dedicated camera servers. And then how we display those videos, we've been able to implement a lot of new services with that, such as, think about you're walking at Walmart and you see a screen with a video of yourself on it. We're able to do those types of things for displaying the video in departments or via a web browser or via installed client. And then access control is just part of that surveillance and allowing us to put a lot smarter locks on doors so we can log access and we can do things like remotely control lockdown if when necessary. Takes us to our cost slides, only 2 of them. And there's purpose here. I'm not going to read through all the numbers. This is a little bit of department costs. If a department wants a computer, needs a computer, adds a user, etc. The parts that I do want to call out on here is the volume license. What a volume license is. Microsoft charges us a license for us to have computers on our network that are accessing our servers. So if you go to purchase a computer at Walmart, at Best Buy, this license, it doesn't come with whatever you're purchasing from wherever. So the volume license, that's a license that we have to purchase in addition to whatever's purchased. And then the other one I want to call out is the summary, and that's just a calculation that Any computer we purchase, it's going to cost us $1,000 to $4,000 up front, but then also there's going to be about a 10% reoccurring year-to-year fee or cost just for keeping that computer active and maintaining that computer. This one, it's another ad for the help desk, really. What we'd like to do, if you need a new computer, if you're adding a user, what we'd like to do is give you accurate numbers for budgeting or an accurate quote for purchasing whatever it is you need. So this is our request to get with the help desk. Let us give you the updated numbers so those hidden licenses can be paid for. And this slide is kind of some of the, I'll call them unseen IT costs. We're doing a lot with security. I'm not going to read through all of these either, but there are a couple of them. What do they call it? Client access licenses. So on the last slide, we looked at a license for a computer to connect to servers. The client access license, this is a license for users to connect to servers. Microsoft's going to charge us for both. So that's a license. We usually purchase those in bundles and cover those ourselves. Storage is another one that I want to call out because whenever a department runs out of file share storage and we're like, $1,200 to expand that, please. That's a big cost. Why can I get a terabyte hard drive at Walmart for $100, but county cost is $1,200 for that? And it has to do with our storage being enterprise grade. It has to do with whenever you go to save data to a file share, it saves that data in 2 or 4 locations. And then additionally, every night we're backing up that data, which is taking another copy of it. So $1,200, that's a really standard enterprise level storage cost, and that's what we're paying for it. If we do a quick calculation on that, storage, we're up at over a petabyte of storage. That calculation comes up to over $1 million storage infrastructure. We have just a huge amount of data that we're storing in a very safe way. And then the last thing I call out on this is maintenance increases. Every single year, year to year, any individual system that we have, the maintenance cost on that is going to increase 10 to 25%. The actual calculation in our environment, all systems considered, our maintenance increases are 14% year to year. I don't know how long that's sustainable, but that's the average we hit. And that's what I've got, guys. We talked a little bit about the department, some of our newer services, and what our costs look like. And yes, sir.
Do you prefer to be referred to as IS or IT?
It depends on who you talk to. The way it's come to me, I'm an IT manager. Dave Kavner's an IS manager. So it's ISIT. Then it gets really tricky when you question what the S stands for. Is it information systems? Is it information services? I like to think of us, well, we're providing services on the topic of information and information technology. I like information services, but I don't know that we've ever gone there.
I think is better.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it's fun. Lots of numbers, lots of information, a few new things, guys. I'd love to answer questions. Yes, ma'am.
What were they trying to gain?
Step 1, email a group of users pretending to be somebody of authority. Step 2, after somebody responds, you start manipulating that user. We did not get to the manipulation phase. We shut it down before we got there. So what their goal was is unknown. It could have been, okay, here, yeah, I need you to click on this link and install the software for a calendar invite. So that could be the start of ransomware. It could be, I need you to change my payroll account so that they're legit stealing paychecks. There are a variety of paths they could have taken from there, but we shut it down before we got there.
One more minute left. Any other questions?
Those emails, do you want to forward those emails, or actually, I want to make an attachment and send me an attachment?
We'll take any type of communication that we can get. Our preference is for the emails to be an attachment on an email. That saves all the back end information so we can track down as granularly as possible. Where did this come from? How can we prevent this? What's the real threat? As an attachment is the preference.
Well, it is 8:42. We're at the 30 minutes. Wonderful hand for John. One thing, when you look across the street, whether it's to the east of us or south of us, both of those entities, obviously very large, larger than us, have been hacked or phished several times, and we've not had that happen here. It's just because of the diligence that our staff has put into their system to protect ourselves and all of our data that we have. It's just incredible. Knowing, all the information that the collector may have on his file as people pay their taxes, different than CU and people paying utility bills, but we're very, very blessed to have such a strong team and to protect the 280,000+ people that we have here in Greene County and just ourselves here as well. So anyway, again, thank you, John.